So first thing is we need to install Java, Git and wget and curl for Jenkins, because Jenkins works on Java. Java is mandatory, so we are installing, and fortunately we have all the software installed. In yesterday only we installed Java and Git and wget and curl on this machine, on the server machine. Then we need to set up the repository. Curl location is this jenkins.repo, and put that repository into this file etc yum.repos.d under jenkins.repo directory, jenkins.repo file. Sudo this T command, piping symbol T, means that display that as output here also on the terminal. So it will show this on the terminal also. So this is visible here. So this command, this content have gone to this file jenkins.repo. Under this, you want to verify, you can use cat command and specify the URL. It will show you the same content. So Jenkins repository is created. Now you need to import the security key for the package GPG, GNU Privacy Guard. Import the key from this URL. The link is given in the lab assignment. I am working as root user because installation of software and management require working as root user. The yum repository, yum install command, packages and everything require you have to work as root user. Now onward the process is very simple. Yum install Jenkins. This will install Jenkins, download packages, required dependencies, everything will be taken care by this yum command. It will download and install Jenkins from the repository which we have just configured. The advantage of yum command is that if there is any dependency, it will install the dependency also. If you notice, Jenkins require daemonize to be installed, and that's why it is installing the dependency as well. Now Jenkins is installed. Systemctl start Jenkins. I have categorically told you guys that please do not try with me. In that case you will be struggling, because when I demonstrate, my demonstration will go waste, because you can't do two things together. You can't watch and do parallelly. My speed is fast. We have been doing it day and night. So status shows that yes, it is running. I can enable it so that it starts on runtime. When I reboot my system, it should be running. And now I can access Jenkins. In fact, Jenkins run on port number 8080. So I should open the firewall ports also. Firewall -cmd -add -port equal to 8080/tcp -permanent. That will add the port permanently 8080 and reload the firewall. The advantage of reloading the firewall is that you can access it from outside this virtual machine, and you can access it from your local machine as well, :8080. So Jenkins will be accessible here, and this is the Jenkins. So where is the password? It's asked me where the password is available at this file. So I'll take note of this file. I'll copy this and use cat command to check this password. So this is the password. I copy it and I paste this password in the browser where it is trying to ask me the same password. So this is Jenkins. Customize Jenkins, install suggested plugin or plugins, select plugins to install. This comes with experience. So don't do this if you are not experienced, if you don't know what you need to install. So by default it's good to go for suggested plugins initially. This process takes time, lot of time. It will break many times. In fact, in my case, in 8 out of 10 times this process breaks multiple times. Only 2 occasions it was successful without any error, without any break, without any failure. And as I'm doing it, I'm warning you that do not panic when you see errors in downloading and installing these plugins and packages, because in that case it will fall back and display the message retry, and you have to continuously try. It may take 15 minutes, it may take half an hour. Even if it takes 45 minutes, do not panic, have patience. And that's what you can see from me also. Whatever time it takes, I have to wait. I don't have any other option. Now In the meanwhile, I'll prepare a couple of other things. My server, see, timeout. This is a common thing which you will receive here. So do not panic. If you see these kind of messages, that's fine. We will retry. So I will not surrender till everything is installed. See, the same thing. As I said, 8 out of 10 times I get this timeout and all these credentials, these errors. So I will wait. And I'm going to use tester machine, tester 1 as my agent for this. I'm also going to use OCI instance. I'm going to connect OCI cloud to Jenkins so that OCI instance can be used for my build jobs. And I will choose where to use OCI instance for building my project and where tester 1 should be used for building my process, building my jobs, or where local machine should be used for building my projects. So building and compiling and all that process, you can use instance, local instance in tester 1 in this case, OCI instance. I'm going to take the credentials, I'm going to take note of them and I will use them, and means any other cloud also. So let us keep those information handy. Tenancy OCID will be required. Take note of the tenancy OCID. Go to the tenancy on this page here, tenancy. Take note of the OCID, user OCID under user settings. Now next is API public key in PEM format. I don't have any key, so I have to create one. So go to API keys on the left hand side, click on add API key, download the private key and add it. Public key is not required, close it. Apart from Notepad, no other editor should be used because there should be no control character. Problem is when you use other editor, they may use control characters to this. My Jenkins and the fingerprints noted. These are the details which I require from OCI to allow Jenkins to install packages. And see, the installation again started. After this finished, I will get again a retry option and will retry this installation of packages. Let's start the session in fact. Session 6, Jenkins CI, continuous integration, continuous deployment, CI/CD complete, introduction and installation of Jenkins. Agenda of the session is understanding continuous integration, introduction to Jenkins, build cycle, Jenkins architecture, obtaining and installing Jenkins, installing and configuring Jenkins var file and RPM, both methods, and Java installation and configuration, which is prerequisite for Jenkins. Maven plugin installation on Jenkins, exploring Jenkins dashboard. By the end of the session, I can simply say that the takeaway will be I don't know anything about Jenkins. I am totally new to Jenkins. After the session, you will say no, I am not new to Jenkins. I know what Jenkins is, what architecture of Jenkins is, what are the use cases for Jenkins, and how to install Jenkins on Linux machine. I can install, I can configure, I can install plugins, I can get Jenkins set up ready on the machine. One session, so many things to take away. And for those who have already been working, something will be there for them as well. Let's see if they can find something and say that, oh Ram, this was something new for me. CI, continuous integration. We learned that yesterday in detail. Continuous integration is a development practice that requires developers to integrate code into shared repositories several times a day. That is continuous integration. So what we need from Jenkins is that Jenkins should be periodically pull the code from repository based on cron, or periodically means specific period, after every 15 minutes, after every hour or whatever, or by using a polling method, that if there is a change in the repository, then only pull. Check repository after 15 minutes. If there is a change, then pull it. If no, then no need to pull and build again, because there is no change in the code. So continuous integration is based on your scheduling. Jenkins will automatically pull and deploy the code or build the code. Each check-in is then verified by an automated build, allowing teams to detect problems early. What is Jenkins? Jenkins is an open source continuous integration tool written in Java. The project was forked from Hudson after a dispute with Oracle company. Jenkins provides continuous integration services for software development. It is a server-based system running in a servlet container like Apache Tomcat. It's an award-winning application that monitors execution of repeated jobs such as building a software project or jobs run by a cron. It's a continuous integration server. It detects changes in subversion, as I mentioned earlier. Perform tasks repeatedly, that is build, test, deploy, test, package, all these things. Jenkins features, easy installation. You have seen the installation is so easy that you just configure the repository and you are good to go. Platform agnostic, ready to run with package for Windows, Mac, OS, Unix like operating systems. Easy configurations, very easy to set up. You will realize that after I finish my installation. And configured using its web interface, featuring error checks and built-in help function. And there are hundreds and thousands of plugins and counting. For whatever you think that you need that extra feature like OCI connectivity, there is a plugin. For Tomcat, there is a plugin. For deploying on Tomcat, there is a plugin. For building with Maven, there is a plugin. For connecting to any other cloud, there are plugins available. So plugin give features to Jenkins. There are hundreds and thousands of plugins available in the update center, integrating with every tool in the continuous integration and continuous deployment tool chain. Extensible, Jenkins can be extended by means of its plugin architecture, providing nearly endless possibilities for what it can do for you. Easy distribution can be, Jenkins can easily distribute work across multiple machines. This is what I am going to demonstrate. It was not there in the agenda earlier. The lab assignment is not there for the OCI and testing machine, but I am going to show you and it will be easier for you after the demonstration. Distribute work across multiple machines for faster build, test and deployment across multiple platforms. This is what we are going to precisely try to see that as a hands-on demonstration. And free, open source. Why do we need it? To integrate more frequently, detect errors quicker, improve quality and reduce costs. Coordinate the running of tasks as part of workflow. Compile, test and package. Then deploy, script, verify, build VMs. Some terminology for Jenkins. Job. Job means a unit of work for a project. View. User-defined collection of jobs or a workflow. Master is a central master does the job scheduling. Agent executes one or more jobs within slots, that is executors. That's what I was talking about. We'll configure tester 1 as agent and tester OCI machine, OCI cloud also as an agent. Workspace, the working area where a job is carried out. Plugin, the user-defined collection of jobs or a workflow. Build cycle, how Jenkins works, that explains the architecture and work style of Jenkins. Developers work on this machine and checks in the code to the repository, that is Git or other source code repositories. Jenkins can grab the latest code from the repository, can build it, build artifact like exe, website or app or war file or jar file. Then also can perform post build steps on the build, like it can run test, unit test, Then also it can deploy to live server, and if there is an error anywhere in any of the phase, then it will report back to you. So this is the scope of Jenkins. The moment you check in the source code, rest everything can be automated using Jenkins. Same thing you can do with Visual Builder Studio of Oracle Cloud, and that is Developer Cloud, DevCS. Jenkins architecture. Developers commit changes to the source code found in the repository. The Jenkins continuous integration server checks the repository at regular intervals and pulls any newly available code. The build server builds the code into an executable file. In case the build fails, feedback is sent to the developer. It deploys the build application to the test server. If the test fails, developers are alerted. If the code is error-free, the tested application is deployed on the production server. So this is architecture of Jenkins. Remote source code repository. Jenkins masters pull the code, and using TCP/IP protocol, Jenkins agent will be used to build the code, or you can use this master as an agent. You can use the same this as an agent also. I repeat, you can use master also as an agent, or you can use a Windows machine as an agent, or Linux machine as an agent, or Mac machine as an agent, or you can also use any cloud instance as an agent. My agenda discussion will be one Linux and one cloud instance to configure as an agent to be used by Jenkins. Not only the master, will use the master also for build processes, build jobs, but will also using the tester machine and OCI also. Jenkins master distribution is its workload on all agents. This video is no more available. I have terminated this, and I'm going to upload the new video soon on the same. How to configure remote VM and OCI instance and as an agent. On request from Jenkins master, agents carry out builds and test and produce the test reports. Installing Java. Jenkins is Java application, so therefore first step is to install Java. So this is the simple command I run to install Java version 8. Point to be noted, current version of Jenkins may not support Java 10 or Java 11, whatever the latest version of Java is. Java 8 is still popular. If you have multiple versions of Java installed on your machine, make sure the Java 8 is the default Java version. Then verify after you import this. Curl silent location is this. From this location, sudo t etc yum.repos.d. You can also go do one thing. You can directly visit this URL in the browser. Copy paste the content in this file, means create this file. So visit this URL, see the content, paste them into a new file with the extension .repo in this directory. This is a single command. You can do it multiple command in multiple commands also. Means see this URL, check the repository, take note of the content, paste them into this file etc yum.repos.d jenkins.repo, because Linux repository files are stored into etc yum.repos.d. So this is the same command which configured the repository successfully. After that, you need to import the GPG also, GNU Privacy Guard key, with the following curl command: rpm-import and the key name. This key is mandatory, otherwise installation will fail because you are enabling GPG check. If you don't want to import the key, if you don't want this, you have to make this value as 0, GPG check equal to 0, but then that will be risk. That is the risk associated, so don't do it, not recommended. This command will not give any output though. Install Jenkins, we have done that. Yum install Jenkins, our installation was completed. Start and enable Jenkins, systemctl enable -now Jenkins. In fact, not this is the right command. Start Jenkins and enable Jenkins. I demonstrated in two different commands, if you notice, to start Jenkins. And check the status of Jenkins with systemctl status Jenkins. Open the firewall ports. As I told you, I demonstrated this also. because Jenkins works on port number 8080. Therefore, the command is to firewall cmd hyphen permanent. Zone by default it is public only, so it is optional. Add port 80 TCP port and reload the firewall. Jenkins running on previous step. Stop Jenkins if it's running. This is installing with var file. This is second way of installing. So you have to stop it and erase Jenkins if you want to try with the var file. Download latest Jenkins var from this location, mirrors.jenkins.io var stable jenkins.var. Download this and extract it. This is downloading the jenkins.var file. And then use Java command to install this var, java-jar jenkins.var. So this will install, and in the last output it will show you the same password. So check this password and then visit the URL. Password will be displayed during the last step of installation, and use this password to log in for the first time when you launch Jenkins. To set up your Jenkins installation, open your browser, IP address of your machine followed by port number 8080. This is where I am right now. I started this. The screen similar to the following will appear. You have seen that in action. Yes, the same screen was visible and the path was given for the password. I use cat command to see this password and I pasted this password here. If you have installed Jenkins using yum, use this following command to print the password. Where live Jenkins secret initial admin password, and you should see this character, this password. Copy this password from your terminal, paste it into the administration password and continue. Then it showed the set of plugins which we need to install. Suggested plugins. If you are experienced, you know what plugins you need. You can use manual method, or initially for learning purpose it is better to go for suggested plugin initially, because then you can take a decision what plugin you need and what plugin you want to skip. So this is the installation. Just click on this step, and then after the installation completes, it will show you the prompt. You have to create one username and the email ID, that is first admin user for Jenkins you will create. So once the installation is complete, you will be prompted to set up the first administrator user. Fill out all the information, then save and continue. On the last step, it will show you the URL where your Jenkins is available with the port number, and save and finish. Installation is successfully done, and then you are ready with Jenkins. So let us see the status on our system, what our system is currently doing. Yes team, I told you that it will show you the retry option, and that is good option. So it will retry again, whatever failed options were, it will retry them and start building again. And you see now it is getting successful. So 2-3 retry, everything will go well. Read the errors, don't run away from errors. As it is downloading, let's verify the SSH connectivity from server to tester, because I'm going to use Jenkins here also. SSH tester 1. Oh wonderful, it is already set. We configured key based authentication yesterday, so that means my same private key is available. In fact, what I need is I need to install Java and other packages on this tester machine also, because I want to build on tester machine. So let's connect on tester machine, SSH tester 1, and let me install some packages on this tester machine also. Yes, this package Java, curl, wget, I want these packages on tester machine also, because I want my tester to work as a build machine, and for Java at least I need Java should be installed on tester 1. So let the installation finish, because if I want to build on tester 1, I should have Java at least. And cat .ssh id underscore rsa, this is my private key which I will be configuring in Jenkins for tester machine to work as an agent. Almost done team. You see 3 failed. If I retry this time, I will be lucky, and I'm sure this will also be successful. See, that's what. So third attempt. So what is the takeaway? Takeaway is have to have patience. Admin user, so my email ID and my password, first user created, and this is what the URL is available. Save and finish. Start using Jenkins. So your Jenkins is ready, team. Welcome to Jenkins. This is our dashboard. Some plugins could not be loaded due to unsatisfied dependencies. I think we can restart it. Because we needed to just restart Jenkins after the plugins were loaded and plugins were, like for example, pipeline. I know this pipeline plugin was installed. It was available and it was installed. So I may have to just restart Jenkins. Let's do that. Systemctl restart Jenkins. So when you restart Jenkins and try again, this error will go hopefully. Admin user, password, and let me see, manage Jenkins, because the restart remove that error. Setup agent, this is what I want. My tester machine, I want to configure this node name as tester1, permanent agent. Tester1 machine is going to be my node for this setup, and I need to set up the details here. So tester1 agent, number of executors 1, remote root directory. Remote root directory is mandatory. Where is my remote root directory? Let's see that here what it says. It says is where Jenkins or where live Jenkins. I am not, this is actually we use specify which directory will be used. It's not that you have to follow blindly. I am going to use where live Jenkins. I am changing the path. So I am just trying to prove that you can use any directory of your choice. Labels is tester1. I want to select the label while building the job on this machine to be as a label selector tester1. Uses, no, only build job with label expression matching this node. That means I have to specify label selector tester1. Launch method, launch by connecting it to the master or launch agent via SSH. This is what I need. So host name is 10.10.0.101. That's IP address. Credentials I have to add. I don't have any credentials. So username with private key is what I have to use. SSH username and private key. Yes. So let's say username is root password. So tester1 user ID, you can give anything here. Tester1 description. Tester1 private key. Username is root. And the private key I have to specify here. Private key enter directly. My private key is available. Where is my private key? It is available here. Because this is the private key which allows me to connect to my tester machine. And you have seen this machine, this tester key based authentication. Private key you need to specify here. Public key is already there on the tester machine, on tester1. Therefore, this private key will allow Jenkins to connect to tester machine and provision the resources. No passphrase. And let's use this now. Host key verification, I don't need to verify anything. Availability, use this agent as much as possible. No. That you can use agent online according to a schedule, or when demand, take offline when idle. No, as much as possible, and then save it. So it will take some time, and after it verifies, and you will see that it is ready. I can verify the logs also here. Logs, and you will see agent successfully connected and is online. And you will see the connectivity details is SSH launcher, port number 22, tester machine, and successfully launched. That means if you go back to the agent, you will see that agent here, node, and see tester machine is added. So your tester machine is ready for build. We can configure similarly, we can configure OCI agent also. Let's configure the cloud, configure cloud. But we don't have any plugins, so we need Oracle Cloud Infrastructure plugin. So let me select Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Compute. Yes, this is what I want. Install without restart. This will install the plugin to configure OCI as agent to be used as executor for build jobs. So I am demonstrating two options as I suggested, that OCI as well as the local machine. We configured local machine tester as executor, and this is going to my OCI compute instance will be used as my agent. So log in to the admin. Let's configure OCI also now. Manage Jenkins. Nodes configuration. Show me the nodes. Come on, with the nodes and clouds. Yes. And let's configure cloud. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Compute now it is available. Here we specify any name, give any name to it. Oracle Cloud Instance. This is the name. Credentials I have to add. And because of the plugin, I will be able to get the details of OCI Cloud Infrastructure Compute. So here we have to specify the details. Tenancy ID means tenancy OCID. Region is US Ashburn 1 for me. Fingerprint I already have. I took note of this fingerprint. API key from my OCI console. OCI user. Give any name to it. And description OCI credentials. Now verify. So the name I have given to OCI user. Add it. So we are going to use OCI user, this one. Add a new instance template is very important. This will require a lot of information. So give any name to this description. OCI compute instance. Since you are connected, so you can specify build job with label expression matching this node. Label OCI agent. I am giving OCI agent as a name. Compartment. It will fetch all my compartments, root compartment. It will fetch all my availability domains, image compartment, everything it will fetch. And I will select my instance here. It will fetch all the data. So I am using 7.9, this latest image of Oracle Linux 7. And then shape also. I will select the shape VM standard 2.2. Number of CPU not required, GB not required, because that is applicable on selected instances only. And this is the VCN I created earlier, and I'll get the subnet also. Security group, OCI credentials. No, I have to add OPC user and the private key. That is interesting. Again, I have to use OPC username and password, SSH key and the primary private key. So OPC user. Description, OCI SSH key for OPC user. Username is OPC, because by default OPC user is created in OCI. And the private key, I repeat, this time I am using the private key from my instance, because this is where my Jenkins is. So same private key will be used to connect to the instance, and same public key will be used. So this is the OPC user. I am specifying these credentials into my instance here. Add. This is my private key of my instance. Passphrase, there is no passphrase. And this will connect. So this is the OPC user. This is SSH credentials. And also I need to add something here, post installation script. Advanced, let me go to the advanced tab. To run build job on OPC user on Oracle Cloud, I need to install same set of packages which I installed on this machine. Execute. So all this is initial, the final script which you need to execute after the instance is provisioned. So this is init script. What it will do? After the instance is launched, it will install these packages and run these commands on the agent user is OPC. Number of executor, lifetime, all seems to be fine. Templates, instance cap, initial named images, nothing, all good. Instance name prefix, nothing. Apply and save. So our OCI is also ready with now. That is OCI compute instance on demand. it will be provisioned when I create a build job. So basically, let's go back to the dashboard and let's understand the some plugins part. Manage plugins. I need to install some plugin. Okay, so I need to click on available. Let's say Maven. I want to use a plugin to build Maven jobs using Jenkins. So for that, there's a plugin called Unleash Maven. Yeah, this plugin is very important. This plugin is required for building jobs using Apache Maven. Therefore, I'm installing this. There are other plugins also like role-based access control. Throughout the day, you will be configuring plugins and you will be configuring build jobs. Right now, we just prepared our Jenkins for configuring, for setup to run build jobs on tester one machine and launch a compute instance when required to launch a build job. All right. So therefore, we are in a good situation. Our Jenkins is ready. This tester machine, tester one and OCI part is optional for you. We have seen that finally on the start using Jenkins button, and you'll see it be directed to the Jenkins dashboard, logged in as admin user, and here you can explore the dashboard. Manage Jenkins, configure system, manage nodes and clouds, global tools configuration. Throughout the day we'll be working on this area, manage Jenkins and then build jobs. Maven plugin, you can try Maven, type Maven and select whatever plugin you want. Basically you can directly go to this Maven plugin manager / available directly, or you can go to this dashboard, click on configure system screen, manage plugins, and then search under available tab. It is Ajax based search engine, extremely fast. So simply type first few characters, it will show you all the repositories. Just this is not exact required plugin for our case, our scenario, our training. You can use any plugin for the testing purpose, because real requirement will be satisfied in the corresponding lab assignment in the corresponding session. Search for Maven. You will see the plugins. Click on checkbox and you will see the installation screenshot like this. We have seen already. Plugin installation will start. After installation is done, click on the checkbox. Restart Jenkins when installation is complete and no job is running. Explore the dashboard. You can try whatever you want on the dashboard. That's all for this session. Thank you very much. I hope you liked it.